You're listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast, discussing all aspects of precision and long-range rifle shooting. This episode is brought to you by Impact Dynamics, advanced training for the precision shooter. And now, over to your hosts.
Well, hello and welcome to the Precision Shooting Podcast. This is Rusty here, and with me in this episode is Steve from Precision Rifle Products. How you going, Steve?
Yeah, not too bad, Rusty. How are you going?
I'm doing pretty well, mate. Thanks for coming in tonight.
That's no problem.
So, Steve, your company is Precision Rifle Products. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you guys do?
Yeah, well, basically what we do is we manufacture products, namely chassis at the moment, as well as a few other long-range rifle tools that will be coming out soon. But one of the other ones we use for developing your correct height for your rifle before you buy a set of scope rings is our scope ring tool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And so you said you got a couple of chassis as well?
Yeah, we do. We have our bullpup chassis, which basically can convert your Remington 700 into a bullpup rifle, as well as we have the ticker one coming out in a few weeks, which will be pretty good.
Oh, nice. Cool.
And we have our modular chassis, which is more of a standard configuration, but it's incredibly lightweight and quite configurable.
Fantastic, mate. So, this is your company?
Yeah, this is my company. We've been around for, I think we started about 4 years ago in our development.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
it's been a bit of time in the works.
Oh, definitely. There's been a lot of, we started with our bullpup chassis first of all, and it's just the development in that, being the first in the world, is, it's just taken that long. It's amazing,
right.
yeah.
So you're the first one to do that sort of thing as an aftermarket chassis.
Yeah,
is that
definitely,
right?
for the Remington 700, yeah.
Oh, cool, mate. And before we go too much deeper into those details, you're obviously a shooter, I take it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've been shooting for probably about a decade, but I've been interested in guns since I was a little kid.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic, mate. So tell us more. Obviously, the bullpup seems to be your main product line at the moment.
Yep.
How did you come about deciding to do that?
Oh, basically, I'm quite a creative person. I've been developing a lot of products just for my other business, which is basically I design things for a living, and
That'll help. Yeah,
it does.
absolutely.
It does. It's quite useful, and I've seen.
And that's not shooting related.
No,
that
it's
sort
not
of thing?
shooting. That's something completely different.
Okay.
And basically, I got the idea one day that I wanted a bullpup rifle,
Mhm.
and went back and forward and refined it and got it out the range and got a lot of interest in it. And I was like, okay, well, I made one for me. I might as well make them for other people.
How long did it take you to get from thinking or deciding you wanted a bullpup chassis to actually having one? Did that take a while?
Yeah, it definitely did, especially the trigger mechanism took a fair while, just trying to make it safe as well as make it really good, because this thing's basically almost a target rifle. I use it for shooting F-class, I use it for out hunting, I use it for a lot of different things.
Yeah, okay. Oh, very good. And so how long did it take you? Was it?
So it took us about 2 years of refinement. I think it was about 7 different trigger setups we put in it by the end of it. Yeah, I was getting very over it.
That's always the question, isn't it, with any sort of bullpup design, is how you get a good trigger that works. And I guess in this case, because you're using already an existing rifle with the Remington and now the ticker, that's even more of a challenge.
Yeah, that's correct. It's basically you got a trigger to work with, and we've gone with a different design to the way they usually work. There's usually a pushing motion on the trigger, but we've actually flipped it around and gone a bit tricky and gone with a pulling motion. So there's no flex in the trigger, and it gives it more of a direct feel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a bit different then.
Yeah.
Well done. And what's your... So where are you up to with the bullpup now? You're to market? You're selling them?
Oh,
or?
definitely. You can get them now. We have our store, Precision Rifle Products, and
We'll certainly put a link in the show notes for that, for sure. And the feedback, how's that been?
Yeah, it's been great. People have been very impressed with the quality and the machining. It's we're using a lot of the state-of-the-art equipment to do it all, and the tolerances are kept very minimal. It's I'm really proud of the way it's actually come out.
Fantastic, mate. And your other product, you said you've got another chassis?
Oh, we've got, our modular chassis, which is, as I said, it's a standard configuration. It's for Remington 700 as well. We have a ticker coming very shortly as well, the two most popular
Yeah, two most popular
Yeah,
rifles.
basically, yep.
For aftermarket stuff, for sure.
Yeah, and that's basically uses a lot of interchangeable parts on a modern sporting rifle platform, and uses Accuracy International mags as a standard.
Is that the same in the bullpup?
Yeah, they both use the AI type mags.
Yep.
They're quite easy to source. Yep.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So, for those who are not familiar with the bullpup layout, can you run us through how it looks, what's different on it, and why would someone consider that sort of as an option, really?
Well, basically, the bullpup brings the magazine behind the grip instead of the front and brings all the weight more back towards your shoulder.
Sure.
And we find with that, with our bullpup design, it keeps our actual perfect balance point is right in the grip.
Oh, okay,
So,
where the handle is. Yep.
Yeah, right where the handle is. And you find that there's minimal weight over the front, and that makes it very easy to point.
Yep.
And, it's worked quite well. It's quite manoeuvrable. It's incredibly short. We keep, with being legal though, it's definitely legal, always.
Yep. Is that's legal in all states?
We got, depending on the length of your barrel, if you have a, I think it's 18-inch barrel, you're quite fine in every state, except I think New South Wales is 800mm minimum, but everything else, the whole chassis is actually slightly over 750.
Okay.
So you can go a bit shorter with your barrel, but it just look a bit funny. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's really good. And sorry to interrupt you, but obviously short is a benefit.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It makes it a bit easier to get out the side of a ute if you're going out hunting, or, and also, as I said, there's no weight over the front, because I notice a lot of rifles are quite front and heavy. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, with big solid barrels on
them. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I'm definitely a man that has a lot of heavy barrels on my rifles.
Absolutely. We're preaching to the choir in that case. So the two complaints, or the two things that I'm always asked about with bullpups, not necessarily complaints, is the triggers, and then also having the bolt back sort of in what is probably initially more of an uncomfortable position. So it's not, you're not sort of in front of you.
Yep.
You have to bring your hand back and almost sort of punch yourself in the face, so to speak. Obviously not punch yourself in the face, hopefully. How have you found that with your setup?
Well, we've found basically with the bolt lifting issue is it's just technique, and like everything, after about half hour behind the rifle at the range, you find you get used to it, and it's basically as you just train yourself to do it. As our Australian military be using bullpup rifles, they don't have the.
I was going to say they don't have the.
They don't have the bolt handle,
manual bolt.
But it definitely it's very similar functioning with the magazine release and all that as well. So crosses over quite simple, but as I said, the bolt. It's just a more of a technique.
Okay, so with enough time on the rifle, it's not an issue?
Definitely.
Still very quick and quick as it can be?
Yeah, definitely. That's quite, I've had no trouble with it. When guys have gone, they've been a bit hum and hawing, but as soon as they get on, they're like, I didn't even know why I was worried about that.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, certainly. I have shot it, but I haven't spent a huge amount of time with it, so I probably haven't overcome my my manipulation technique there. But yeah, I'm sure if we spent, I'm talking, 10 minutes or so. So that's obviously by your standards not enough time to perhaps overcome that. Which is good. And have you used it hunting, or have you had much feedback from a hunting point of view?
I've had a bit out hunting a few times, but I've been trying to actually get out more. Unfortunately, time and building this business has taken a lot of a toll, as they always do.
Always true, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. We spend most of our time out at the range shooting the longer distances in F class, so we shoot from 300 out to about 1100. And
sure.
Yeah, it's good fun.
How has it been received in F class?
Oh, everyone basically jokingly calls it a pistol because of how short it is. But the scores say what the scores say, and at the end of the day, you can't really complain with that, can you?
Well, that depends on how good the scores are.
Well, yeah.
So we're assuming the scores are okay?
Yeah, we're having quite a good run with that.
Or no different than your field?
Definitely not. I've run this rifle back-to-back in bullpup and standard, and I've also run several different rifles in either configuration. There's no difference, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you're not necessarily getting a massive accuracy gain.
We do get a slight one, just because of the way we V-bed the receiver into the action, which is quite a good way to mount them.
Okay, sure. But you're not seeing any detriment to go this way.
Oh, definitely not. No.
And if you're looking for a shorter sort of setup with a different configuration and something that looks pretty cool, because you had it in here earlier and it does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's obviously some benefits of it. Certainly, you don't want any downside to your accuracy. You don't want any
No,
diminution.
that's exactly right. It's like we are constantly chasing to get precision accuracy. And yeah, this is definitely one of the things that gets you in the right direction.
So the obviously the big bullpup around is the DTA or the Desert Tech as they're called now. Have you used one of them? And where does this sit? I mean, this is obviously only a chassis to work with a Remington versus a switch barrel rifle, so perhaps it's an unfair comparison.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of apples and oranges there.
Yeah, you're right. In terms of, have you used the two at all? Have you used the DTAs?
I haven't personally used the DTA, but I've had a lot of feedback from the shows because we've been doing shot shows all this year. We've done a couple with you.
Sure.
And a lot of guys that have come up have had DTAs, and they say they're just almost identical in feel and weight. They can't believe how close they actually are.
Okay. Yeah, right. Because obviously that's a very strong bullpup design.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great piece of engineering there.
But they've got they're launched as rifles, so a fair point to say it's an unfair comparison. But it is interesting to see if people have got DTAs, how these compare. Perhaps because they may have a DTA, but they may also have a Remy or a Ticker or something that they like the setup and wouldn't mind changing over their standard stock or whatever stock they have to something that mimics their other gun. Is it that close that you would feel natural with it?
Yeah, I don't think you'll really have too much of a trouble with it at all because, as I said, I think there's about 150 grams difference between the two. It's that close. And
right.
The only thing that you'll probably change with it, even though the DTAs do have this as a feature, we actually use a 2-stage trigger like a lot of the high-end rifles.
Yes.
Which is just more of a safety feature than anything to get it and to keep our trigger crisp. Otherwise, we'd have to play around with that and we'd lose a lot of trigger.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the control you'd get.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, very good, mate. So that was obviously your leading product and what gave you the idea to start the business that you started. And your modular has come on since then.
Yeah.
Tell us where the thought was from there.
Yeah, we weren't really going to go with a standard configuration chassis as there's so many of them on the market.
There's no end of them.
Yeah, that's exactly
absolutely.
Right. But we thought we might actually do it if we can come up with something different. And we came up with the hinge design to remove the bolt, which is also can remove the entire lower assembly to adjust the trigger and get in and clean.
Sure. Yeah.
And because of the two-piece design as well, you can actually have just one bottom and interchange it between different rifles, which is actually quite cost-effective.
Okay, so run us through. You've got a hinge design chassis. So is we talking sort of like an AR type setup?
Yeah, like a modern sporting rifle type setup. Yeah,
you can. Yeah, you've got your upper and your lower, and they're pinned together at the front, and then you open that up. And obviously in a bolt gun like this, you're able to remove your bolt out.
Yep, that's right.
And so you're saying, are you suggesting that the other chassis don't have that setup to remove the bolt in that manner?
No, I've never actually seen one do that. A lot of them, they have you just remove the cheek piece to bring it out, which, I thought we'd go different.
Sure. So what's the benefit? Obviously it's different. Is there a particular benefit of that?
Yeah, basically if anyone's actually seen our design, it's actually a complete straight line like a lot of modern rifles out there, which is benefit for muzzle rise, keeps all the recoil in a straight line, which most other stocks, as you would know, actually have that slight down loop for the cheek piece.
Yeah, for the rear of the stock,
that's right.
Drops away again, and then you either have to get a rising cheek piece or something like that to bring you back up in line with the scope. And I saw it before, it's got a quad rail on the front, so you're going to have your scope fairly high.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep.
So you obviously want to go with a fairly high cheek piece, but you're saying you've actually offset that already.
Yeah, that's correct.
The design of it.
Yep.
Okay. And you mentioned you can have multiple. Now run that past me again. Multiple rifles with the same.
Yeah, with the same stock, because if it uses the modern sporting type butt stocks, buffer tubes, and grips and all that, basically. You only need one of the lower, and you can actually interchange it with a couple of different rifles if you have them.
Okay, so the barrel action is bolted into
what we would call the top.
The top of the upper.
That's right, yep.
For lack of a better term.
Yep.
And then that will, on the hinge pin, go into the bottom. So, you'd probably save yourself a bit of money. And I'm guessing then that you can buy that upper, for lack of a better
Oh, yeah, definitely.
term, as a separate item, and interchange that across.
Yep, definitely. And as we bring on other lines as well, we might bring on a so-called upper for like your rimfire, so you can interchange between the two and get a lot of practice in.
Oh wow, okay, that's a pretty good idea. Yeah, or if you're going, I guess if you got a Remy short action and a Remy long action, you could interchange those. Is that going to be that?
Yeah,
to that
we've
extent?
left a lot of design space in there to be able to have it, so you can, as you said, change from the short to long action depending on what you want to do at what time.
Well, I've always wondered why it was called the modular chassis, and I think I've just worked it out
Yeah,
now.
it's almost like the iPhone of chassis, hopefully. That many different parts that can be interchanged with it.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Cool, mate. And you also said that you've got another little tool. Now, we've been playing with this scope tool tonight and made a bit of a video of how to use it. I'll let you explain it. It's your invention.
Yeah, basically, as a shooter, when you get a new rifle, you usually have a new scope you put on. And as about a year and a half ago now, I was trying to work out which height rings to buy. And I thought, because with my design, I have a 3D printer. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to print something up and see if I can make an adjustable slide or gauge to determine what height rings I need before I go and buy them.
Fantastic, yeah. And that's what it is.
Yeah, that's basically it. And you just put it on, move it, and yeah, it's a really good piece of equipment.
So you're not buying the wrong rings and taking them
No,
home?
no, I got quite sick of doing that. And yeah.
So you can buy the rings that are set, obviously, by this device.
Yep.
And then you don't have to take them back to the shop the next day and say, yeah, I got the wrong ones. Can you get these in? And inevitably, they don't have them in stock, so you have to order them in. They're always 2 or 3 weeks away. And
That's exactly right.
You've got to shoot on this weekend or something.
Especially when they're big dollar rings too, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine, spending $200 or $300 on rings, you want them to fit.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, cool. So that's obviously something available from your website as well.
Oh, definitely. Yep, you get it from our Precision Rifles website. We've got a couple stores that sell it. We've got Southern Shooters, Projectile Warehouse. They're the ones that sell it.
Projectile Warehouse sell it, and SDS Targets as well. So basically all of our sponsors is where you've got it connected to, which is fantastic. Brilliant. So, Steve, tell us a bit more about your shooting background. You said you've been shooting for about a decade, but always been interested in guns.
Yep. Basically, we started out as you usually do. I want to get a paintball gun.
Right.
And, because I've always been interested. I thought this would be fun. And then I went to apply to get one, and they're like, you need a gun license. I'm like, well, I might as well just get a normal gun then. and as you start off, you get your 22 and do some plinging, spend a lot of time burning through ammo.
Sure,
and,
cheap ammo.
Yeah, very, very cheap ammo. Back then, it's going to be a bit different now.
Yeah, still relatively.
Yeah. Lot cheaper than...
cheaper than your 300 Win Mag.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And then upgraded to a 300 Win Mag as my first centerfire, which probably wasn't the best idea I ever had.
That's probably not the highest recommendation, but
No.
plenty of people do it.
Yeah,
so.
that's right. And then basically went from that. I started to get interested in long range and started going out to local F-class events and shooting out there and putting a few rounds down range and learning all the techniques has been a good experience for the last probably 6 years or so.
And you've had some success with the F-class side of things?
Yeah, I've picked up a trophy or two along the way. I've been lucky with one certain competition where I was teamed up with probably one of SA's best gunsmiths, and we managed to come home with a win. And that was a very difficult day, a lot of difficult conditions, and
fantastic, mate. So that's your highlight of your shooting career, you'd say?
Definitely. It was a good day, definitely.
And when you're saying long range, what F-class, I guess, so you're shooting out to, 1,000 yards?
Yeah, we do anywhere from 300 out to 1,100 metres where we shoot.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. So they're good distances, mate.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Magic. And hunting has been a thing for you?
Yeah, we've been out and about with our friends. As I'm getting a bit older, I want to start getting into hunting a bit more back to nature.
Yep.
And, just trying to get out there and find some good properties. And,
Spend some time out. What do you like to hunt? What have you done previously?
Basically all the ferals.
Yep.
bar the donkeys and the pigs. Yep, going after all the usual goats, rabbits, foxes. It's good fun.
Yep.
Good challenge. Good good lot of exercise walking around trying to find them.
Walking around, I thought you were a long range shooter, mate. I thought you just sit in one spot and just wait for them to come.
Oh yeah, no. Got to make it look like I'm doing something.
Yeah, that's it. Got to keep fit somehow.
That's exactly right.
No, excellent, mate. So, well, that's really good that you've been able to apply your work and what you've learnt through your occupation into your passion.
It's been a good experience all in all, and we've got a few more products that.
Well, that was my next question.
Yeah.
So, of course, a bloke like you keeps thinking of ideas and thinking. I love your style of saying, yeah, well, I need that, so I'll give it. I'll make it work, or see if I can make it work. And then if it works, you go, yeah, I wonder if someone else might need that. And that seems to be the way you've come up with a bunch of the stuff you're working on. And have you got anything else you can tell us, or is it all top secret?
I like to keep a few things under wraps, but we are looking at diversifying a bit from not just, with scope tools diversified from the chassis itself, but we're probably going to be looking at something along the lines of a load development next, just trying to fine-tune your rifles, and we'll see how we go from there.
So you're making a product that's going to help people.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're going to try and come up with a couple of ideas to just make finding your correct load a little easier.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, you've got me intrigued. Is there other things in the pipeline, or they're all hush hush?
Yeah, most of the other stuff we do like to keep pretty quiet. As with the scope tool, we've actually, because there's nothing else like that, we apply for a lot of patents with our gear, and one of those things is we can't really divulge, but we got some pretty cool ideas.
Oh, good. All right, cool. Well, we look forward to seeing what comes out of that. Now, you've had some good success with your scope tool. Can you elaborate a little bit more about where that's gone? Because that's pretty exciting for an Australian invention.
Yeah, we've basically gone all around the world within probably 2 or 3 months from release. We've been US, through Europe, even sent a couple scope tools off to Africa.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. It's been pretty good. We've also got another lot of scope tools that have gone over to Canada, and we're looking at maybe doing the largest distributor over there, which would be pretty good.
Yeah, right. So is that individuals buying them, or is that shops, or what?
It's a mixture of a lot, actually. It's really good. We really want to start pushing the American market, because that's where a lot of the shooters are. And
sure, a bit of our audience is from the US as well, despite us being a Australian-based podcast. We do get quite a few listeners from the US as well. So maybe some of them have seen your products over there.
Yeah, that'd be good. We're actually trying to get over to a SHOT Show in America at some stage, but we just ran out of time with a lot of our product development and a few other things this year. Otherwise, we would have been there, but we'll always aim for the year after.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I always say.
So SHOT Show.
Yeah, no, it'd be good to get over and have a chat to a few of the guys, and just see what we see, and I've seen it's pretty good from what I've seen on the internet.
Have your chassis made it over to the US yet, or that's obviously a big market for you, or you're not playing that card at the moment?
We're looking into it. We're just trying to work out basically what needs to be done over here with in regards to customs and defence export, but it's definitely something we want to do.
Yep.
We're hoping by the time we make it to SHOT Show, we'll have all of our products there for everybody to have a look at.
Fantastic. So that's you're talking SHOT 2017.
It'll be 17, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, right. I might have to tag along with you. That sounds like good fun, hey?
Oh, I think so.
So, Steve, you better give us the sell, mate. Where can we see your products, and where can people catch up with them or try them out or anything along those lines?
Well, yeah, we're looking at maybe doing a bit of a show day with one of the Southern Shooters courses, and maybe bring a few guns out and let people put some rounds down range to see how they go. And
yep, that'll be good for the people in Adelaide. What about you got SHOT Expos coming up or anything? Or
yeah, we're looking at, because we've done the Victoria, Queensland last year. We had a lot of guys get their hands on. We're looking at doing Sydney as well, and we'll see how we go.
Yes, that's June coming up, 2016.
Yes, things are coming up very quickly.
Yeah, it doesn't take long, does it, mate?
Definitely not.
Absolutely, almost. It's December when we're recording this, so it's taking off anyway. The year's almost over. So fantastic. So the guys in Sydney, if they want to get their hands on it, SHOT Expo is going to be the time to do so. And where can they find you online if they want to have a look at it?
Oh, it's precisionrifleproducts.com. And that's just go on and check it out.
Magic, and they can drop you an email or give you a call.
Yeah, definitely. Get phone numbers on there, emails on there, and just more than happy to have a bit of a chat. See maybe if you guys have a few ideas and see what we can come up with. And
so we just want to clarify the bullpup's available in Remington short action and the Ticker.
Yeah, Ticker short action calibers as well. So like your 243, your 260, your 308, anything that fits that accuracy international short action magazine.
Oh, okay, that's the restriction is the mag. Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
And then so your Ticker and your Remis. And have you got anything on the cards for any other actions at some point?
We'll probably look at doing the Howler Weatherby line next because they're quite a popular rifle and I've had a lot of interest with those, definitely.
Yep, and is that the same in the modular setup or that's just the bullpup?
Yeah, well, if we do it in the bullpup, we'll do it in the modular. The bullpup's the hard one to design around because of the plastic side panels.
Sure, yep.
And yes, getting the moulds done and changed is quite a expensive process, so we try to think of everything we can so we don't have to change them too much, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, no problems. And I was going to ask, have you done anything with Lithgow? Because that would be it's exciting to see someone in Australia manufacturing chassis and aftermarket upgrades. It's really, really good to see. And anyway, that's my dream is you do something with Lithgow because that's kind of cool.
I definitely want to do something with the Lithgow rifles because I like, as my products are Australian, I'd really like to push Australian products myself with what we do. And it'll be very good. I'm quite anxious to see these rifles come out and have a bit of a play with. Yeah,
absolutely. See if you can make something for them because I'm pretty sure that will be a fairly popular thing. You know, as
definitely.
Through Southern Shooters, we're putting together this invitational challenge, and more of those precision rifle style events are going to happen in Australia. And guys are, going to want an Australian rifle to be able to sort of compete with them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the new precision rifle type series is definitely taking off. We've actually sponsored a couple of these over in Victoria.
Oh, fantastic!
We sent some gear over for them to try and give away, and it's been a good experience as well.
Magic. Oh, very good. Well, that's probably about it for this episode. So thanks very much, Steve, for coming in.
Yep, no worries. Thanks for having me in.
No dramas, and we look forward to seeing some of your products out more and about. And I'm still waiting for you to do a Rem long action one. But anyway, I'll keep asking that, and Steve keeps telling me eventually. So, Steve, thanks for coming in, guys. If you want to check out what Precision Rifle Products are doing, make sure you hit their website. It will be in our show notes, and it's good to see some Australian innovation happening there on the Precision Rifle side of things. Thanks for coming in, mate.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast. To continue the discussion, check out our Facebook page. And for more information, head to our website, www.precisionshootingpodcast.com.au. This episode was brought to you by Impact Dynamics, advanced training for the precision shooter.